Hey, it's Tom from Inspiration Metalworks, and in this week's video we are going to make this little regulator whip combination here for our powder coat setup. Hey guys, alright, so I did a little shopping. Now that I've got several machines and I'm fairly certain I'm staying put for a little while, I want to make sure that I've got the right things going. Got my layout set up right, and camera is a little off. Sorry, folks. That's a little better. Anyways, I'm getting rid of temporary thinking. If you are a patron, you've already heard this once, right? So basically, what that really means is that when you think something's temporary, annoyances, you'll just kind of push them aside for a little while, and over time that builds up and it turns into frustration. I don't know how long I'll be working in this space, but I'm taking the approach that it could be forever, and so I'm getting rid of those annoyances. Some of the things that have really just made me crazy are simple things, right? Making sure I have airlines to all the machines. Making sure I've got blow guns to clean stuff off. But one of the things that gets me the most is when I'm doing powder coating, because the powder coat gun really is a low volume gun as far as air goes. I'm using the Eastwood powder coat system. It works great. I'm very happy with it. But here's the situation. We got 90 psi coming out of the air compressor to everything, right? Almost everything in my shop runs at 90 psi. That's like, I probably should dial it up just a little bit, just because of there's some drop from volume, but really 90 psi is the magic number. The powder coat gun is actually somewhere like 10. So every time I'm going to use it, I've got to dial back the entire system, bleed the system out, bring it back up to the right volume, then do my powder coating, disconnect everything, bring the pressure back up, and use the spray gun to clean things off and things like that. Well, if I'm doing more than one color in a day, that's a real pain to go back and forth and make those adjustments. I know the right way to do this. The right way to do this is to control the volume of air right there at the point of use, right? So if the drawbar, our drawbar here, or for the collet closer, if that needs a certain pressure versus the plasma cutter versus the powder coat gun, do that. Well, they've been annoyances. They haven't been necessities. And so I didn't do anything about it. I just dealt with it. Well, I'm done. No more of that stuff. Picked up. So I did a Harbor Freight run, which I don't do very often. But this guy here, this 5-drawer chest. We'll talk about that later. But that was my real reason for going. But then I picked up, airlines and the couplers and these guns, the blow guns. A regulator to put at the powder coating station. I'm setting up a new powder coating station. I'm actually using the old enclosure that I had built for the mini mill. Is going to be a perfect powder coating enclosure. All I have to do is just cut a couple of small holes on the. There we go, guys. Let's see how many comments I get with that. Cut a couple of small holes in the back, some filters to do some vacuum, right? So draw the air through. That way it's filtering the powder out of the air. It's not getting all over the shop. It's still indoors. I'll have a permanent line run to it. It's going to be regulated, and things will be a whole lot easier. So I've got some. I got this at Northern Tool actually, but a airline. The coily type spring style that's supposed to be. I love how they put this self-storing air hose. Right. Sure. Anyways, it'll keep it from being all over the place. So that's the plan for today. That's the kind of stuff that I'm doing right now in the shop. I know I've been on travel. You guys haven't heard from me quite as much. I did my last video. I posted making parts on the lathe. I've actually made more than 50 of those pins at this point as we refine the process and get that down. So that's coming along well. I just want to give everybody an update because it's been a little while. I do have another video. I will release probably 2 to 3 videos this week, but they're all really related. So there's the shop update, this one, which is just kind of vlog type. There's a 2-part video series coming up. The CAD for a part that I'm making is a replacement part for, actually an upgraded part for an old tire plug gun, and then the actual machining of that part. So expect to see that coming out over the course of the week. But for right now, I think I'll cut the video and maybe I'll get this stuff set up and then I'll bring you back in a little bit. All right. So for what, $10 and a few minutes of my time, I now have a regulator hooked up to a self-coiling line, the disconnect on either end. This, so air will come in to here, the gun will plug into here. This will give me plenty of motion to move around. The idea is that this will be fixed in a particular location, so I won't have to keep messing around with it, right? And then I can just hang the gun up when it's done. When I'm ready to clean it up, I just take my full pressure line off, plug a pistol grip blowgun in, clean up, and be done. So, yeah, don't let, I guess, probably should have led with this. Don't let these little annoyances, these little things sit for too long, right? Just knock them out, get them done, because once they're done, you don't have to think about it anymore, right? Instead of letting it just kind of sit and build, right? So there's your moral for the story for today. Just something quick and easy, but something to think about, right? Take action. Don't just grumble about it. Do something about it. See you soon.